Hi, I'm Kylie. I'm the investments editor here at Finder, and you may have noticed that Raiz has recently done an update. So I figure it's a great time to do a hands-on review of the latest features, including investment options, shopping features, my personal experiences, and whether I think it's a good return on investment for your money. So what is Raiz? Raiz is a popular micro-investment app that launched in Australia in 2016. But if you live in the US or the UK, you might know it as the Acorns app. It made a name for itself mostly thanks to its roundup feature, which collects your spare change and invests it into a portfolio of exchange-traded funds. So say you make a purchase of $1.90. It rounds up to the dollar by collecting the 10 cents and investing it into the portfolio in increments of $5 at a time. Plus, as a bonus, if you use the app to do your online shopping, a portion of that is automatically invested for you. So here we've got the homepage, which is the Today tab. And you can see here straight away you've got your investment portfolio balance, your super balance if you use the super fund, and you've got your shopping rewards balance as well. And if you scroll further down here, you've got your performance chart, so you can see how much your fund is going up over different time frames, which is really cool. And then you've got the My Finance tab, which gives you a really great rundown of what you're spending your money on from month to month. So in the Past tab, you get a summary of all your transactions, including withdrawals, the returns, how much you're getting in dividends from each of the ETFs. I really like how transparent this is. The only thing missing here for me is the fees. And then over in the Future tab, you have a nice chart which shows how much you're going to have in your fund by the time you reach a certain age. So how do you invest? Well, like I said before, the standout feature for Raiz is its roundup change feature, which collects your spare change and invests it into the fund. But you can also make one-off investments, or you can set up regular payments daily, monthly, or fortnightly if you like. When you sign up for Raiz, you get 6 investment options to choose from based on your risk profile, from conservative all the way to aggressive, plus the ethical fund, which is Emerald. So your risk profile basically refers to how much risk you're willing to take on for the chance to get a higher return. So the conservative fund here is the least risky option, but it's also the least likely to give you a high return when you eventually cash in. With the aggressive fund, there's a higher chance of your portfolio going backwards because of stock market volatility, but when you cash in at the end over a long time frame, there's a better chance you'll get a nicer return. So if you click through to the portfolios, you can see your investment options. You can see here that each of the portfolios have the same ETF themes. And if you click through to them, you can see the actual name of the ETF here, its performance over the last year, and you can see some of the companies that it's following. So each portfolio works by investing different portions into each of the different ETFs based on risk profile. So with the conservative fund, it invests the most into the bond and cash ETFs, which are the safer investments. And then over in the aggressive fund, it invests more into the Australia large cap and Asia large cap stock funds, which are a little bit riskier. And then you've got the Emerald portfolio, which has invested into 2 ethical ETFs, plus the Australia bonds and Australia cash ETF. All right, let's get into how they've performed. According to the last annual performance report, the portfolios have returned around 8% on average, with the conservative fund, the bottom performer, at 6.9%, and the Emerald fund, the best performer, at 10.1% after fees. So I think these returns are pretty good, but not incredible. As a basic comparison, we can put it next to the performance of CommSec Pocket's funds. As you can see, CommSec Pocket has outperformed Raiz's ETFs. But by that same token, because you're investing in just one ETF with CommSec Pocket, it's probably going to be a little bit riskier than investing with Raiz, which is very diversified because it's a whole portfolio of ETFs. And you can also compare it to the ASX 200 index, which is a basic benchmark for investment performance. So in the last financial year, the ASX 200 index has performed exceptionally well. So in that sense, Raiz's portfolios have underperformed the benchmark. But will it continue to do so? It's hard to say. So what are the costs? So Raiz charges $2.50 a month for balances that are under $10,000, and for balances that are over $10,000, it's 0.275% a year. So breaking that down further, if you have an account of, say, $1,000, that's around 3% in fees each year. As far as investment fees go, for smaller balances, that's not amazing. As a general rule of thumb, you try to keep your fees below, say, the 1% mark. But on the other hand, you don't have to pay brokerage fees, which is a big advantage over other apps, say like CommSec Pocket, which charges $2 a fee every time you make a transaction. Now to the shopping feature. The shopping feature is often ignored in reviews, but it's a really nice addition to the app, and it does go some way towards making up for the fees. So using Raiz, you can browse through over 200 brands. So when you shop through the app, you automatically get a percentage of what you paid back to you, which is automatically invested into your fund. So as you can see here, you can browse through the names and it shows you how much they'll return to you, which is really nice. And these aren't just no-name brands. There are some really big names in here that you'd engage with pretty regularly. So I love the design of this app. I think it's sleek, it's fun, and it's easy to use. And I'm also a really big fan of the roundup feature. It's a really great way to invest your money without having to think about it just through everyday purchases. And it's why I started using the app in the first place. I also really like the shopping feature. There's some great brands in there, and I like that you get a cash reward back to you as an investment, as if I needed an extra excuse to go shopping. So it's great that there's no brokerage fee. It means that you can invest as much as you want day to day without having to think about the extra costs. The investment options are a nice mix of ETFs, and they're relatively safe. So even when you have the aggressive portfolio, you're probably not going to see your money going backwards over a lengthy time period. And you get the ethical portfolio option, which has actually outperformed the others in the last financial year. But on the other hand, the $30 a year account fee is a little bit steep, especially if you're not adding much to the account. So if you're just doing roundups, your returns might end up being swallowed completely by the fees. There are a few roundup apps now just for savings accounts, so you might even be better off just using one of those. So you don't get the freedom of choosing which ETFs you want to invest in as you would with a regular trading platform or even other micro-investing platforms like CommSec Pocket. But you do get a professionally selected portfolio of ETFs based on your risk profile, which is what you really want from a robo-advisor. So what did you think of the app? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want any more information about other trading platforms or if you want more information about Raiz, you can follow the links in the description.